Injuries from the game. Charles Omenihu had oblique strain. He'll be day-to-day. Christian McCaffrey, calf contusion, day-to-day. Elijah Mitchell, groin, day-to-day. Go ahead.
I understand what day-to-day means, but is there any level of concern with the injuries to McCaffrey and Elijah?
No, I mean, we're expecting to get them all back for Sunday, but we'll see how it goes through the week for practice and everything, and hopefully it'll go well, and that'll get them ready for Sunday.
Was today a win Monday?
What's that?
Is today a win Monday or a quasi-win Monday?
I've never heard someone call it a win Monday. I've heard victory Monday, Matt, but...
Sorry.
That's all right. Yes, it is a victory Monday. We've been doing a little bit more these last few weeks. We still have all the players review the game tape with the coaches, position coaches, but we're trying to get on to Philly as fast as we can and get ready for them.
Kyle, with the 9 a.m. start, I mean, how do you adjust your schedule to get that body clock, I guess, as best you can going into Philly? And then how much better are the Eagles than when you faced them last year in week 2?
I'm pretty sure we're kicking off at 3 Eastern, 12 noon, right? That's right? All right.
Yeah.
My dad did that. All right. Cam, don't mess with me like that. My dad did that to me yesterday. Thank goodness. So we should be all right by 12. What was the next question? Or the rest of it?
Just how much better do the Eagles look than when you guys faced them last year in week 2 in a 10 a.m. start Pacific time?
I mean, we just put yesterday's game to bed, but I mean, just seeing them across the league throughout the year and just watching a little bit that we've done here since last night. I mean, there's a reason that they've been the best in the league so far. I mean, throughout this whole year. I mean, offense, defensively, special teams. Last year, we were real concerned going into the game playing them. We knew they had some good talent and they had good schemes, and that was a real tough game there. And all they've done is play together, add some more players, and gotten a lot better since then.
Turnover differential is obviously important in every game, but are you at all surprised at how well Brock has been able to take care of it? You guys, I think, are 15-0 when you're either tied or win the turnover battle. Has that been something that obviously has been a point of emphasis, but also maybe surprised you at how well he's done it?
Yes, he's been unbelievable with that. I think that's the number one thing he's done. And to be able to be as good with the ball as he has while still making a number of the plays that he has, that's definitely the thing I've been most impressed with.
Kyle, I realize you guys had a great success on the ground in 2019, and so you didn't throw the ball much at all. But in these 2 games, is this kind of more your style, or what you want that offense to be with the 50-50 split or a very close split between run and pass?
Yeah, I mean, we always try to do that just because we don't like anyone to tee off in any direction. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily the style of the game that I want. It's just we feel we got to adapt to the style that we think you need to play to win whatever that given game is or that given moment that week. And the better defensive lines you go against, the better defenses you go against, that style usually leads to slowing guys down and not allowing other teams to play at what they want to do. And it also gives you a much higher percentage of winning the turnover battle too. So I think you need to be able to win games that way in the playoffs a lot, but not always do you have to. I mean, we saw it a different way in our first week for Seattle, and we'll work all week to see how we see it this week too.
You talked, a lot of your players talked about, you really wanted to run the ball a lot to negate Dallas's pass rush, and by some metrics, the Eagles have an even better pass rush. Obviously, it could be said the simplifying things was like, oh, you're going to do the same thing, you did against Dallas, against Philadelphia, which they're expecting, and it goes into this cat and mouse game. I don't know. I guess how do you approach that kind of with an idea? They might think they know what's coming. Sorry, that was another very long question.
Just that regardless of what our goal is and everything and what people think might come in, I mean, we always try to be 50-50 regardless, week in and week out, and no matter what you do in the span and certain moments in games, when it's all said and done, you hope that's where you're at, and so you always got to be able to do both. Even last night, I mean, the reason we were able to run the ball is because the whole team did some good things, but also because we made some big key third down throws, and we were good on third down. We made some real big important throws, and I thought we threw the ball real well, which probably better than we ran it, which allowed us to get all those runs.
Kyle, what's the plan
Kyle,
for
back in
you
August, you
practice this week? Jimmy Garoppolo coming back to practice.
I don't think so. I think he gets X-ray tomorrow to see how things are going. I believe so, but I still, same as last week, I'd be very surprised if he was out there this week.
Hey, Kyle, back in August, you guys cut Nate Sudfeld even after giving him that guaranteed contract. What did you see in Brock in OTAs and training camp that made you guys confident enough in him to do that?
When he first started out, he got such few reps because of how much reps we were giving to Trey and how much we were giving to Nate. But every time he got his 1 or 2 reps of practice, just how decisive he was and got the ball to the right spot and did it aggressively. Never seemed unsure of anything. And so he kept earning more reps, and the more reps we gave him, the more he continued to look the same and didn't take any steps back. And then he carried it over to some of the preseason games. So by the end of that, it was pretty easy to see how Brock was coming, and we knew we wanted to keep him on the roster and not risk him going to practice squad. So it was a decision we had to make.
Kyle, you have the defensive player of the year on your roster, but I'd argue that there's no defender in the league more valuable than Fred Warner. Just by the way that he's able to take away the middle of the field and force a quarterback to go elsewhere. It seems like it's second to none. And he's gotten his recognition over the past couple of years, but when did you realize that you had a special player on your hands? And then throughout your coaching career, when have you gone up against a second-level defender as valuable as Warner?
Fred is as good of a player as there is in this league. I mean, his rookie year, we knew we had something special, just how he came in and was able to play so much for us and the pressure we put on him, calling the defense and stuff like that, and how he could handle it as a rookie like he was a 10-year vet. And then the second year is really when he took off, and you could see how special he was when he led us to the 8-0 start and the number 1 defense in the league. And there's some linebackers like that you go against in your career that just they're so good in zone coverages over the middle. You always had Kuechly and Sean Lee who were so good at it. You always had Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright were as good as anyone at it. And then you had Fred right there, and Dre and Aziz are coming right along too. But it always started with Fred, and he covers a lot of ground over the middle. And I know those are usually the guys that the quarterbacks notice the most.
We'll take 2 more guys.
Kyle, how involved has Trey and Jimmy been in meetings over these last several weeks with Brock?
Jimmy's always doing his rehab and stuff and on a different schedule, but Trey hasn't missed one meeting, and he's in everything, and he's really doing an awesome job helping out Brock through all this stuff.
Kyle, why did you go with Tyler Croft instead? Why did you go with Ross Dwelly instead of Tyler Croft at tight end?
Just a lot of things that go into it, special teams, and just the type of game we thought it was going to be, and where to use our guys the most. So it's about as much as I could get into it.
Go ahead, Brent. Last one.
Kyle, what was Eric Armstead? Obviously, looked like he had a safety on Dak and pulled up because he was afraid of the penalty. I guess what would be your coaching point on that? And did you understand his thought process?
Yeah, I did. It's an unfortunate, tougher position than it looks to get caught in, and I think he thought Dak was going to throw it, so I think he was going in there with the mindset to get his hands up to try to tip it, and then Dak didn't and caught him off guard, and then he was afraid the position he was in, he was about to hit him high and get a penalty. So when you're approaching a quarterback, it's so hard for these guys to hit in the right target area and not get a penalty that you really got to approach it the right way. And I believe, without talking to him, just watching on film, he was approaching him to get his hands up to tip it, and then all of a sudden when he saw it wasn't that situation, he didn't want to get that 15-yard penalty, which I think somewhat gets him in an embarrassing spot, but that once I watched the tape, can totally see why it happened, and that's just kind of the challenges these guys have.
All right, guys. See you Wednesday.
All right, guys. See you Wednesday.